Hey, good morning. Job site. I know it doesn't look like it's almost ready for fiberglass, but you're wrong. I'm almost ready for fiberglass. And before I got to the glass, I found, see, I was stripping paint. I wanted to get all of this clean. That way, I wasn't stripping paint on top of my new glass. I really want to get this laid and get a coat of paint on it as quickly as possible. Um, Life's kind of funny in the fact that you'll have a plan and then, life punches you in the face, right? And then the difference with success and failure inevitably is how quickly you can abandon your original plan, take the new information you have and form a new plan and keep moving forward. Because I don't know, I've always found that that's the most important thing, is to keep moving forward. But I'm kind of hung up right now. I am ready to lay glass. I have just a small example, right? This spot on the floor here. That's the other end of the knife. Some of these things are going to get kind of framed in on the inside because there's lack of, and then I'll have to grind out on the outside when we get to that point to reveal any of the rest of it. A lot of things I talk about, I've beat core material to death. I think that this has been a great example of what that means. One of the other things that I talk about a lot is UV stability, and outside from the term, what does that mean? The sun eats stuff. It eats stuff pretty quick. Polyester epoxy is not UV stable, and it will eat it quick. I found a very good example of how that works. This dividing line here, you see this nice yellow glass? That's still good glass. That's what good glass looks like. But anytime you start seeing this white, see that in there? Those are your alarm bells. Go, that white is a problem. White means there's air. Not good. So what has happened here is the sun has ate all of this because it wasn't painted properly. And it is not good. It's that whole back wall. It sucks. I gotta just keep ripping until I get all the bad stuff out. I can't lay new glass on, bad glass. So this whole boat has been this way. I run into these massive spots of delamination, which is why we have all this dust here. And I've literally taken so much out here.
Oh, that's so scary.
So my original plan was to redo everything in here, get the bulkhead in, and then move to the next compartment and deal with it. But because I've had to remove so much bad material, I've had to change my plan. Now what I'm going to do is you can see the back of the Stringer engine set. I got to tie back into that and get some stringers back in here. That'll give me some more strength. I've literally removed so much material that I got to put some back in now, get the strength built back up into this project. And then I'll be able to remove the center section. You guys are going to see this is really, really ugly. All this in here, I know it's dusty and you can't see it yet, but don't be surprised if there's a hole the size of a man in there. I do believe that's where a grenade. I actually had a historian look at the damage, and though they can't confirm exactly what happened, it looks pretty clear that there was some sort of explosion underneath the boat, and then it was fixed with Bondo, basically. Naughty. So I just wanted to give you guys a quick demonstration, kind of desensitize you. The first time I had to tear something like this apart, it made me sick to my stomach. Things look like they just need a fresh coat of paint and everything will be okay. But when you get out there in the jungle and you start smashing waves, with 500 horsepower and a full load, that's when things break. And there is things in this boat that would break and take it right to the bottom very, very quickly. So hold tight, check this out. Tools of the trade.
Now a couple hours passed and I was sitting at my house. The day was winding down and coming to an end. So I turned on the TV, I flipped it over to the news, and what I saw I almost couldn't comprehend. I saw a preacher man in cuffs, he taking money from the church. He stuffed his bank account with righteous dollar bills. But still I can't say much because we're all the same. Oh yes, we all seek out to satisfy those thrills. I said there ain't no rest for the wicked. Money don't grow on trees. I got bills to pay, I got mouths to feed. There ain't nothing in this world for free. I can't slow down, no, I can't hold back. Oh, I wish I could. Oh, there ain't no rest for the wicked till we close our eyes for good.
Bags. It makes you a tired boy. However, these are the results. These very pretty Razorback stringers. And I want to get into why I chose that style very, very specifically. Failure points. I've worked on a couple of these boats now. 2 actually, to be exact. And right here, where it comes off the stringer from the factory, they ducked down to this level. Okay, and you can see this flange here. There's a drive shaft that comes here, and there's a pump here. And the pump is actually the strength for the back of the boat. It's a critical part. However, there was nothing in this freestanding space to keep this rigid, so they all cracked right there. I get tired of fixing things that are just piss poor engineering, and this was a prime example of piss poor engineering. So I took the liberty of re-engineering these awesome, look at that, single hump down to the back hump, and at this point Now we're into the structure of the pump, which the pump bolts here and then it bolts to the back of the transom. So this whole thing is rigid with a whole bunch of really heavy cast iron steel, and then all the torque that comes off the motors is then transferred out of the back of the boat. That being said, I wanted to make sure that my gussets made it to that point. So I did a double hump here because of the way the stringers are set up. This is the engine cradle, and they're real tall, so I wanted a nice transfer down and then down. So we get a double step. On the other side, the stringer set is a little shorter, so that only called for a single hump to then transfer the energy into the pump housing. So now, oh, these babies are strong and 50% lighter than they were from the factory. They're a 6-ply laminated foam core, closed cell foam core. They're laid up with West Systems epoxy with the 303 microfibers in them to keep them slightly flexible, because flexibility is critical in strength. You can be as strong as you want, but if you're hardened, you will fail. You will crack and fail. That's why samurai swords are a softer steel behind the hardened edge, so that it has some spring absorption. I build my stringers the same way. I know it doesn't look like it, but that's a samurai sword, baby. Right? We're going to keep it strong, we're going to keep it light, we're going to keep it powerful, and be able to have a little bit of flexibility to absorb things, but not crack and break. So now I'm going to take back my tabbing. You can see how I left my tabbing long. I always do that. You can fiddle, fart around for hours and hours cutting a perfect piece of fiberglass to then lay it and realize that there's something that didn't add up. Your 2 plus 2 didn't equal 4, and now you have a piece that's too short. So I cut everything long and I just grind it in. It's way, way, way faster, and I end up with a way cleaner product. Maybe you have a different way that's better and faster. If you do, I'd love to hear it. Leave something in the comments, and I'll try it and we'll see how it goes. But I've laid a lot of glass, and this is what works best for me. So hey, maybe it'll work for you, maybe you don't like it, whatever. In the next video, I will show you guys what it looks like when it's all cleaned up. I'll grind the tabbing back and lay a nice finished layer over the top of it to strengthen the floor and tie it all together. But before we get to all that, this center member here, I actually have laid matting over the hole. Woo-hoo-hoo. So a grenade went off back here, and they packed it full of Bondo. As I got in, I realized that it was like 2 layers of surfboard glass and Bondo. Bondo is never good in a boat. It's not even good in a car. Take your Bondo and throw it in the garbage. It's cheap and it's trash. Good morning. You guys like my fancy makeup? Yeah, that's how it's going down. Dust cloud. So you remember in the last video, I had all these pretty stringers that I just made, and I was talking about repairing some grenade damage. Yeah, well, it's not so pretty anymore. It's all dirty. So you can see right here, I had to replace some fiberglass already because the damage actually extends all the way up into about here. I've never fixed a grenade before. And somebody got in here before me. I mean, I don't even really know what to make of this. There was an inch of Bondo and a half inch of surfboard glass, which actually, a half inch of surfboard glass is probably stronger than a half inch of the 24-inch or 24-ounce glass that I use, because there's so many more fibers per square inch because it's a finer mat. Doesn't matter though, because all the Bondo, check this out. Look at this fissure running all the way up. See that? So this piece, a little puzzle piece here, came out of right there. Look at that disaster. See, that's what I'm up against. See how it's all black there? total delamination. It's ridiculous. But anyway, that is what it looks like if a grenade goes off underneath your boat. So until next time, don't forget, like, subscribe, hit the little bell icon, share this out with your friends, and if you would be so inclined, check out my Patreon account. There's a link down at the bottom. If anybody would like to help out with some of these adventures, get a hold of me. We'll get you on the boat for some adventures. And if you just would like to make a financial contribution to help pay for some of this stuff, that'd be awesome. Hit the Patreon account and follow the links. It's all pretty self-explanatory. So, all right. Love, peace, and chicken grease, folks.